Reading and storytelling made a way for me where it seemed I had none. Story time. It was 2005, maybe 2006. I just been deployed to Anambra State, Nigeria for my compulsory NYSC year. I'd recently graduated with a degree in economics, and like everyone else, after orientation camp, you're sent off to some far-off town within your state of deployment. Then you're expected to find a school or organization in that community where you serve. For me, that place was Amobia. Thankfully, I had my fellow Catholic youth corps friends around, members of the Nigerian Association of Catholic Corps. That morning, a few of them headed out early to look for placements in different schools. I was determined to get mine too. A well-known school where many corps members hope to serve was St. John's Girls Secondary School. So off I went, walking down a street I had never been on before. Like most NYSC deployment stories, this was an unfamiliar town far from anywhere I'd lived or visited. I followed the directions given to me by locals, and somewhere along the way, I saw a few corps members walking towards me. Not a good sign. In NYSC placement culture, that usually meant positions of filling up hurry. So I quickened my steps. When I arrived, I was directed to the principal's office. She asked what I had studied. Economics, I said. She checked her list and said, sorry, that position has just been given to one of your colleagues. And I knew who. Oh, okay, I replied. So what else can I teach? The only thing that came to mind, and honestly, the only thing that I could say with confidence, was literature. I can teach literature, I told her. She gave me a puzzled look, and I felt the little opportunity I had growing smaller. Didn't you say you studied economics? She said. Yes, ma, I replied, but I can teach literature competently. She paused, then called the head of English department, a warm, intelligent woman named Mrs. Yu, for the purpose of this story, and asked her to interview me. Mrs. Yu began with the usual questions. What's a simile? Give an example of onomatopoeia. Can you define blah, 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 blah? And yes, of course, I answered them all, but I noticed she quickly grew bored, almost as if she expected I had simply crammed definitions on my way there. I had prepared, but that wasn't the story. So at one point, I gently said, you know what, let me tell you a story. Then I talked. I told her about my lifelong passions for books, the stories I grew up reading, the novels that shaped me, the characters that stayed with me, how reading had shaped my mind, my spirituality as a Christian and Catholic, my imagination. At some point, I realized she wasn't interrupting. She was nodding, listening, leaning in. Before long, the interview turned into a warm, animated conversation between two people who loved literature. We exchanged titles, authors, memories, ideas, and without saying it, we connected on something deeper than qualifications: the power of story. I didn't get the job because I memorized literary terms. I got it because storytelling, my love for it, my experience with it, opened the door. After a few minutes, she nodded in approval, and just like that, I was hired to teach literature in English to senior secondary school girls preparing for their SSE. It became one of the most fulfilling experiences of my life. The girls were eager, kind, and incredibly receptive. We read George Eliot's Silas Marner among other recommended texts, and somewhere in that classroom, between the chalk dust and eager faces, I realized something. Reading and storytelling made a way for me where it seemed I had none, a truth I'd held on to for many years. Since then, stories have opened doors for me in strategy rooms, interviews, communications work, campaign development, and everyday conversations with strangers. Stories stretch the mind. They sharpen your sensibilities. They unlock doors. They build bridges. They make room for you. They give you confidence, connection, and context. Your world expands when you can see the world from another perspective. They make you a better communicator and a better person. So if you've ever wondered why you've loved books the way you do, here's my answer.